Hi, if you have already completed all four of your features, make sure those get turned in. If you are someone who is virtual, you can turn all four pictures in separately. You can make a document where you merge the four. You can bring it into the office and drop it off, whatever is easiest for you. After you finish all your features, we are going to talk about the proportions of the whole face. And I want you to check the first slide on the PowerPoint that we used last week. And I will repost that again. And we're gonna look at the proportions of the eyes being halfway down the head, the nose being 2/3 of the way between the eyes and the lips, the chin being the same distance from the nose to the mouth. So we're going to talk about basic facial proportions. When you get to your final portrait, though, in order for your portraits to really be strong, I'm going to let you do a little cheat or use a little tool for yourself. I want you to choose a person. And if you have a printer at your house, you can take a picture of somebody you know or anybody you want, and you can use that as the basis for your portrait. If you have no way to get to a printer, there are 10 examples of people in your packet, and you can choose one that you are most interested in drawing, and you can use one of those if you're at home. Also, if you're in my class and you want to look through those to see if any of them are interesting to you, that's fine. When we are done with this, the ones that you don't use, you can either keep if you want to practice again, or you can get rid of them. They are printed front to back, so just check that. I'm going to go with the one that was on top in my packet. And I'm going to go ahead and I am going to cover the back of this in graphite to do a transfer like we've done before. So most of you, I think people at home will have done this process with me before. But if you haven't done this process with me before, you just cover the entire back of the portrait you're going to use in graphite. So there will be another person's face on that back page, and I'm just taking a dark pencil and I'm roughly covering over the whole thing. And this is just a little cheat that allows you to get the perfect proportions of your person before you add all the values that we worked on last week in the features. So don't forget about all the hard work we've done with shading already. It's going to come into play when you do this. All right, so I'm essentially just making a graphite copy sheet here. And I'm going to turn this back around, and I want to find a white piece of tag board. Okay, it is the smooth, white, thick paper that the same half sheet that you did your practice sphere on. And you're going to position your person in the center of that paper. You can move the person down to the bottom of the paper if you wish, so that there isn't a weird cutoff from their shoulders. And I want you to go ahead and start pressing down, not super firmly, almost like you would normally press, maybe slightly more firmly, and you're going to transfer the person on to the page. You can do the outlines of the eyes, the iris, the pupil inside, the outlines of the eyes, the iris, the pupil inside. With the nose, you just want to make a tiny mark at the edge of the nose and where the nostrils are. You do not want to do those lines down the side of the nose. No, 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 no. You can outline the lips very gently because you don't want them to look outlined later. You can outline the edge of the face. If you want to outline the edge of the neck, that's good. She's got kind of like a bandana around her neck, so I'm going to outline the bandana so that I know kind of where that is. Her main values of hair, the main chunks of hair, I'm going to outline the light ones, medium ones, dark ones. And you can see what parts you've already transferred and outlined. Just make sure to hold her in place steadily, or you can tape her in place if you don't want that to move, you can now, the person can have a hat on, a scarf on, they can be zoomed up, it can be a partial portrait, they can be surprised, they can be scared. You can look at all of the examples on the PowerPoint if you have not spent time with that already, trying to decide what makes a strong composition, okay? And I think I've got all parts of her done. And when I look on here, probably on the video, you can't see really well, so I'm just going to darken a few of these lines because I can see where I transferred on here. Just very light lines. So there is the transfer. It's difficult to see. See if I can turn this light on. I don't know. But she's on there very, very, very lightly. And when you're finished with that, you are going to work through your features one by one, starting with the eyes and moving out towards the rest of your face. And I am going to keep this portrait right here next to me so that I can match values as carefully as I can. And if I have time, I will also post a time lapse of this so that you can see me begin to work through this portrait and match the values and use what you have learned about your features. I'm going to move out to the shadows. All right, and I'm going to just slowly move towards working through my portrait, and I will, I need to sharpen my pencil and stuff, but I will post a time lapse as I go through the face.